Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. My name is Symmanayah, and welcome to End Time Words to Yashar'al. End Time Words to Yashar'al. And if you are tuning in for the very first time, this is a series of messages that I am compelled to believe have been inspired by the Spirit of Yahusha. May he be lifted up, and may my actions, my words, be reflective of an obedient servant. For we are told in Scripture, if he be lifted up, he will draw all men. With that said, my brothers and sisters, let me clarify who Yashar'al and Awakening Nation of Believers consist of. If you're tuning in for the first time, Yashar'al, this message is to those who seek to worship and obey the Father, the Almighty Yahuwah, and who accept Yahusha as Mashiach, as Messiah. Those who realize that you cannot reach the Father except by his sacrifice and living Son, Yahusha, our Mashiach. This message is to you. This segment of End Time Words to Yashar'al will talk about a time to prepare in the midst of doubt. Yahusha will guide, pray, and watch. Again, a time to prepare in the midst of doubt. Yahusha will guide, pray, and watch. Let us begin with considering Matthew 25, 1 through 14, about 10 maidens, or virgins, as many may know. Many of us may not admit it, but there may be some doubt as to when, where, what, and how to prepare for the coming days. How many of us have considered what must we do individually to spiritually, mentally, and physically prepare to receive instructions from the Spirit of Yahusha concerning these end times, these last days? Consider John 14:26 and John 6:13. John 14:26 and John 16:13. And I will read them shortly. Who can discern how to follow the guidance sent from above through the Spirit of Yahusha? Are we in the last days? Have end times begun? Are we committed to our beliefs? Will prophecies be fulfilled? Pray and watch. Study. Soon and very soon, each of us will be amazed. Not to mention, we will begin to experience many diverse emotions, many challenges. We will be faced with hard decisions as humbling events rise and increase. As humbling events reach our doorsteps, we will face some challenges that never before have we given much consideration to. Again, I say pray and watch, for these are some trying times ahead. Colossians 4:5 reads, walk in wisdom towards those who are outside, redeeming the time. Time, my brothers, a time to prepare. How much do we value time? How much do we pay attention to time? How much do we realize we have found favor and mercy during these times? Time will soon be much more appreciated in the coming days. Let's explore some scriptures dealing with time or being prepared. I mentioned earlier Matthew 25, 1 through 14. I'd like to read it. Then the reign of the heavens shall be compared to 10 maidens, who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were wise and 5 foolish. Those who were foolish, having taken their lamps, took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their containers with their lamps. Now while the bridegroom took time they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, See, the bridegroom is coming, go out to meet him. Then all those maidens rose up and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, Give us your oil, because your lamps are going out. Because our lamps are going out. The foolish said to the wise, Give us your oil, because our lamps are going out. But the wise answered and said, No, indeed there will not be enough for us in you. Instead, go to those who sell and buy for yourselves. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut. And later the other maidens came also, saying, Master, Master, open up for us. But he answered and said, Truly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, because you do not know the day nor the hour in which the Son of Adam is coming. For it is like a man going from home, who has called his own servants and delivered his possessions to them. So I ask you, my brothers and sisters, are we being encouraged to prepare? Are we being instructed to be prepared? So the question then may come to some, how do we prepare? What should we do? Where should we go? Who should we listen to? What's a person to do to prepare for the coming bridegroom? I submit to you again John 14:26, and I'm going to read it this time, the verse. But the Helper, the set-apart Spirit, whom the Father shall send in my name, he shall teach you all and remind you of all that I said to you. This is the Mashiach talking. He is being quoted by John in the 14th chapter, 26th verse. And he said the Father will send the set-apart Spirit in his name. What is the name of the Mashiach? Yahusha. So can we safely, honestly, rightfully state that it's the Spirit of Yahusha that will teach us all, remind us of all? Let me also read John 16:13, which I quoted in the beginning of this message. But let me read the verse. John 16:13. But when he comes, the Spirit of truth, he shall guide you into all truth, for he shall not speak from himself, but whatever he hears, he shall speak, and he shall announce to you what is to come. The Spirit of truth. It said he shall not speak of himself, but whatever he hears. Did we not read how the Mashiach speaks what the Father tells him? That he speaks what he hears? That he represents the Father? Does not the Spirit of truth define the continued living ministry of the Spirit of Yahusha? Let him who has an ear and eyes to see, ears to hear, and a discerning heart receive what is righteous, what is true. Again, my brothers and sisters, a time to prepare in the midst of doubt. Yahusha will guide. Let's examine a portion of the story of Noah. Did Noah prepare? And if you listen to my recordings, you may have heard me speak on this in times past. Consider it redundant or reinforcement, or consider it an act with the hopes of bringing remembrance. Genesis 6 chapter, verses 13 to 22 I like to read, but I like you also to encourage you to read the whole story of Noah. But let me read Genesis 6, 13 to 22. And Elohim said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And see, I am going to destroy them from the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with tar. And this is how you are to make it. The length of the ark is 300 cubits, and the width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a window up for the ark and complete it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. And see, I myself am bringing flood waters on the earth to destroy all the flesh in which is the breath of life from under the heavens. All that is on the earth is to die. And I shall establish my covenant with you, and you shall come into the ark, you and your sons, and your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of all the living creatures of all flesh, 2 of each, you are to bring into the ark to keep them alive with you, a male and a female. Of the birds after their kind, of the cattle after their kind, and of all creeping creatures of the earth after their kind, 2 of each are to come to you to keep them alive. As for you, take of all food that is eaten, and gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. And Noah did according to all Elohim commanded, so he did. And I would say to you, my brothers, I encourage you to read the entire story of Noah, or revisit it. Did Noah prepare? Was Noah given skills, resources, and instructions? Consider this. He had to know how to measure. He had to be able to understand and hear the words from the Most High. He had to know what a cubic or 300 cubics or 50 cubics or 30 cubics. He had to know what the word height meant. In order to build the ark, he needed the wood, the resources. He needed to know how to construct it as given and guided by the Most High. I ask you again, did Noah prepare? Was Noah given skills, resources, and instructions? Do you believe we will receive skills, resources, and instructions in these last days as well? Will the voice of the Almighty be demonstrated through him using a servant as he did with Noah and his children? Well, if you doubt that there will be similar times where there's a need of instructions and guidance, consider this. Like in the days of Noah, Matthew 24:37 says, and as the days of Noah, so also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. Luke 17:26 also states, and as it came to be in the days of Noah, so also shall it be in the days of the Son of Adam. Is this telling us, my brothers and sisters? Is this inferring? Is this warning us? Is this instructing us that in the last days, in these end times, we will see some similarities where man has become wicked and evil, where destruction is ahead for the rebellious, the unbeliever, where life will emerge in the midst of chaos. Those who seek to worship and obey will be saved. Again, consider the story of Noah. Let's look at a few verses on prepared. Exodus 23:20 says, see, I am sending a messenger before you to guard you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. So if the Almighty Yahuwah prepares things, and he knows how to prepare unequivocally, no question, no doubt, are we better than he, that we should not prepare? How long will we take for granted what is before us, the things that come to us that help strengthen and prepare our minds, that we may increase in worship and obedience to the Most High? What is it going to take for us to realize the urgency it is to get to know him? 2 Corinthians 5:5 states, now he who has prepared us for the same purpose is Elohim, who has given us the Spirit as a pledge of what is to come. So he's prepared us. And if he's prepared us, and his preparation and that preparedness Would it not be reflective in our walk, in our talk, in our fellowship? Would not our obedience be reflective of an obedient servant that's preparing for the bridegroom? Pray about it, my brothers and sisters. Think on it. Ponder on it. Seek to discern and understand. How should you receive these words? Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are his workmanship, created in Messiah Yahusha unto good works, which Elohim prepared beforehand that we should walk in them." Prepared. The Father has done much preparation. There is much that would be due, has been done, will be done, is to come. Hebrews 11:3 read, "By belief we understand that the ages were prepared by the word of Elohim, so that what is seen was not made of what is visible." You see, my brothers, something will emerge. Something is coming. Prophecy is real, and prophecy will be fulfilled. Let's examine the two witnesses of Revelation. Revelation chapter 11, verses 3 through 6. "And I shall give unto my witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clad in sackcloth." I believe many agree that this measurement is 3.5 years. So for 3.5 years, and I'm going to continue on with verse 11:4, it says, "These are the two olive trees and the two lampstands that are standing before Elohim of the earth. And if anyone," this is Revelation 11:5, "and if anyone wishes to harm them, fire comes out of their mouth and consumes their enemies. And if anyone wishes to harm them, he has to be killed in that way." Revelation 11:6 says, "These possess the authority to shut the heavens so that no rain falls in the days of their prophecy. And they possess authority over waters to turn them to blood and to smite the earth with all plagues as often as they wish." I ask you, my brothers and sisters, drought, when we have no rain, is reflective of drought. Will we see something that will put what we see, these current droughts, to shame? Will there be a massive drought when the two witnesses emerge? Will we see absence of rain happening at their word as they are used and guided by the Spirit of Yahusha? It says here that they possess the authority to turn waters to blood and smite the earth with plagues as often as they wish. Will we witness? Will there be some walking upon the face of the earth that are believers that will witness waters turning to blood? Will we witness plagues increase, smiting the earth at the word of these two witnesses? Will any believers be walking the earth when these two witnesses emerge? What will be the role of Yashar'al, a nation of believers, in the midst of the ministry of the two witnesses? What are we to prepare for? What role, what guidance will we receive? What state of mind should we be in? How should our spirits be when such an event or events emerge? Who has prepared their mind, body, and soul for what is to come? Who considers how close these events may be in these current times? How soon will such a thing happen? And when it does, will we be prepared? Would we have contributed to the preparedness of those who are walking the face of the earth when these two witnesses come? Who has recognized any of the trends that reflect end time prophecies unfold? In other words, how many of us realize that end time prophecies are being fulfilled, that things are coming to pass that are written in Scripture? Are there types and shadows? Indeed there are. Are there things that we can say that this means that and that means this as it relates to prophecy? Sure. Are some of our interpretations and translations erroneous? Possibly. But there are some things we can see that are evident, that are obvious. What is your position? What will we see in the coming days? What will we witness in the coming days, months, and or possible years, depending if the bridegroom tarries or our sense of timing is off? Are we given time to prepare? Is time important? Is there doubt in the midst of these trying days and trying times? Does that excuse us from preparing? Are there some who are overzealous, over anxious, and who are doing things erratically? Can you agree that precision is important? That we must learn to obey the guidance of the Spirit of Yahusha and be precise in timing, not jumping the gun, not jumping ahead of ourselves. At the same time, not be sluggards, sitting around saying, oh, I'm not going to worry about it. The Most High have it all under control. I'm not going to pay attention. Yes, he has it all in control, but are we not vessels? Are we not instruments? So in his control, will he use us? Will he guide us? Are we his instruments? Will we be used to contribute to the preparation of a gathering of believers made one by Yahusha, including Hebrews and Goyim being other nations or Gentiles? Are we contributing to the preparation of the strengthening and the unveiling and emerging of an awakening nation? Will we be required to continue to seek to obey in the midst of famine, pestilence, drought, wars, violence, rebellion, sin gone wild? That sounds like an oxymoron, just sin. Will we still be required to worship and seek to obey? Will some of us be martyrs? Have we prepared our minds to hold true and to lift up all that is righteous in the midst of all that will come before us? Yes, my brothers and sisters, we are in some trying times. What will we see in the coming days, months? I pray that we learn to identify the righteous guidance of the Spirit of Yahusha and stop taking for granted all the mercies and favor we have and will receive from the Most High Yahuwah. But remember, brothers and sisters, remember, reproof, chastening, judgment, and wrath are also part of the plan and promises from our Almighty Father Yahuwah. Remember, my brothers and sisters, the Spirit of Yahusha will reveal, and discernment will confirm and be validated with proof. Remember, my brothers and sisters, remember that we have a call. Remember the commitment that we've made individually. Remember our decision. And know this, that the Most High's plan will be fulfilled. It is being implemented. It is being executed. We will see his promises emerge more and more in the coming days. I encourage each of you to pray, study, watch, seek to grow in discernment and understand. Soon, a day will come when it will be very obvious that the hand of the Almighty Yahuwah is fulfilling all that he has promised. As instruments of the Most High Yahuwah, guided by the Spirit of Yahusha, who will obey with precision? Who will be precise in following the guidance from above? Proof will emerge, and time will present the evidence. Yes, this is a time to prepare, even in the midst of doubt. This is a time to realize and identify that Yahusha, our Mashiach, our Messiah, will guide. His Spirit will bring to remembrance the things that we've read and studied and all that is necessary, that is righteous. And His words will fulfill the task that are spoken. Be encouraged, my brothers and sisters. Be encouraged. And let us keep time top of mind. For the time that we have to walk this face of this earth is as a result of every word that proceeds out of the Father's mouth. Let us not take it for granted. Let us realize how precious it is. And let us begin to ask ourselves, what are we doing? What are we doing in the midst of the time that we receive to breathe, to have a heartbeat, to have a sound mind and functional limbs or a limb? What are we doing? How much do we value time? When are we going to begin to transition closer into the bosom of the Most High to exhibit the righteous gathering, getting to know one another, becoming acquainted with one another? And I'm saying those who truly seek to worship and obey. Well, my brothers and sisters, many questions, seeking many answers. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. I pray that we're able to endure even until the end. Until next time, my brothers and sisters. Until next time, again, be encouraged. Almighty Yahuwah is not slack concerning His promises and plans for our lives. Pray and watch, study, pray some more, and discern with understanding. The time is at hand. Until next time, shalom, 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 my brothers and sisters.